Howdy folks, Bluesboyjag here. This is a 3-string cigar box guitar boogie lesson in the key of G. Lots of people have been asking, how do you do the John Lee Hooker licks? I figured I'd just do the boogie here. Fingerstyle boogie. So, I'm tuned to open G, A string down to G. D string to normal to D. And the G string to normal to G. Always tune your G string normal. G, D, G. Now, there's just as much emphasis on the right hand as the left hand for this particular boogie. Using my first 2 fingers and my thumb down here, anchoring with my pinky. Third finger does nothing, absolutely nothing, which is sort of a shame. Maybe one of these days I'll get my third finger moving. It actually does work. But back in the day, I didn't really do my due diligence to get that third finger playing all the fancy licks that the other fingers play. So thumb, home base for this particular claw hammer technique. Home base is on the 3rd string with the thumb. 2nd string is 1st finger. And as you can tell, the 1st string is going to be my 2nd finger. 3rd finger does nothing, and the pinky anchors. Real slow. I'm playing the top 2 strings first, and then the bass string. That's it. See you next time. No, I'm kidding. That's just the beginning. Go down here, 3rd fret. I'm going to be using my 1st finger. Let's see here. Pretty much just my 1st finger down here. So I'm doing the thumb coming around the top here, and I'm using my 1st and 2nd fingers to do the muting. So first, what I'm going to do here is no muting with the right hand. Nothing's happening with the right hand at all for now. That's all I'm doing here. Top 2 strings, thumb, top 2 strings, thumb. So that's only half of it. The other half is my left hand doing a whole bunch of muting. And I'm also doing a pull-off. Top 2 strings with my 1st finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Using my 1st and 2nd fingers down here to pluck. And then you take your finger off. So real slow. Thumb is doing a pull off on the 2nd string. top 2 strings, fretting the 1st string, 3rd fret. Then you take that finger off and you're playing the open 1st and 2nd. The last strum is the top 2 strings. One other thing that I'm doing here is muting with my right hand. So I'm choking those notes off, so they're real short. Super duper slow. See if you can see both hands. So you can tell that you can jump around and play all sorts of different notes and all sorts of different patterns here. I'm just playing the 3rd finger on the 1st string, 5th fret now. All the rest is the same. Now I'm jumping over to 1, 3. There's just all sorts of different permutations there. Just kind of mess around and come up with your own thing. The hardest part is doing the muting with your fretting hand, and then immediately after you mute a note, play another note. So you see my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers are just flopping everywhere. Well, that's because I'm doing all the muting there. So after I do the open notes, whichever open notes those are, I'm muting. That's why those fingers are flopping everywhere. Then I'm just kind of alternating between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings with my right hand thumb. That's your John Lee Hooker Boogie. It's real important to do a lot of those chokes where you're choking the entire chord off if you want to sound like John Lee Hooker. He did not do that all the time, but he did it a lot. So here's a little bit of that without so much choking. I'm just jumping back and forth between the 3rd fret and 5th fret on the middle string. And then I'm using my 1st finger up here on 1, 3. So basically the box is 5, 3, 0, 5, 3, 0, 5, 3, 0. Now if you want to get a little bit wacky, you can put some of these in-between notes in, which are basically stepping stone notes, which take you to the note that actually is in the key. That's simply 5, 4, 3, and then 0 on the 1st string. You can also do a call and response because you've got a high G with your 1st string and a low G with your 3rd string. So you can do a riff with your high G and then the same riff with your low G. Right there, I'm just going between 5, 3, 0 and on the second string, and 5-3-0 on the third string. You can just jump all over the place. Just experiment. Now I'm just sliding up one fret. So you can get the idea that you just kind of jump around and experiment, and you'll kind of stumble across all sorts of cool licks that you've heard before a million times. But the main thing is your right hand is the engine. Your right hand continues to do this claw hammer thing. So I'm not even going to play any notes. I'm just going to show you up close the claw hammer. Thumb's on the third string right now. First finger's on the second, and my second finger's on the first. But of course, you can jump around and mix it all up. So I hope that gives you something to play along with. It's pretty fun, and pull up some John Lee Hooker key of G stuff. If he's in key of A, just put a capo on 2. He's normally going to be in E or G for John Lee, but some of these other artists might be in different keys. For instance, 5th fret, play those same frets. Just put your same licks. Just put your capo up here on the 5th fret, play those same licks, and you'll be in a different key playing John Lee Hooker. That one I'm just jumping over to the first string. I'm doing a very slight quarter note bend. And that's going to be on 1-3. And I'm jumping over to the second string on the 3rd fret. Now, if you want to put some dissonance in there, something that makes it sound kind of weird, also sounds kind of like country music, I'm just hammering from 1-2 to 1-3, going back down again, and I'm just playing the second string, 3rd fret, and then 0, and then the 3rd string, the 3rd fret, and 0. Then you got your bends. I mean, I could go all day. So have fun with that. Please check out my website, jagshouse.com. Cigar box guitars for 20 years. Please subscribe. Wait, did I say please subscribe? I probably said please subscribe. If I haven't said please subscribe, then please subscribe. Also, check down below. I've got information on amps that I use and strings and all that kind of thing. Let me know what songs and what riffs and what lessons basically you want to hear, and I'll do the best I can to get it to you. And we'll see you next time.